So I guess it's true. Our son is actually getting married.
Yeah, I almost didn't believe it when he mentioned it. But the engagement party was pretty official, wasn't it? Yeah, I'd say so. It definitely cost us a pretty penny as well.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a very serious question, and you can't judge me for it. We've been married for nearly 30 years, and I'm 100% serious when I ask you this. How do you feel about Marina?
I'm glad I'm not the first one to have to say it. She is an awfully selfish person, isn't she? Very conceited, right? That isn't just in my imagination?
No, it's definitely not just in your imagination. I mean, I know Mark is kind of a lost cause, but I would have thought that he might have settled down and married someone that was actually a little bit nice.
I'm glad that you feel the same way and that we're on the same page. I didn't want anyone to think that it was just that tale as old as the time of the mother-in-law not liking the daughter-in-law.
No, it's definitely not just you. I mean, maybe they'll be good for each other?
Or they'll make each other way worse. I mean, Mark already lives off of us in terms of money and resources, but now with someone as selfish as Marie by his side, it wouldn't surprise me if we were stuck taking care of both of them for the rest of our lives.
Is it supposed to be the other way around?
Maybe, if our son actually got off the couch, it would be.
I mean, technically speaking, he is off the couch, but he's not off the couch to work. It's mainly to party in Europe.
Don't remind me. I just hope that they remember that he can't legally go back to the country of Spain.
Or Greece.
What are we gonna do?
Is there anything that we can do? I mean, at this point, if they're pretty set on marrying each other, there's not much that we can do.
I know, but if we let them get married, it's going to wreak havoc on our lives. But I still want to be somewhat supportive of my son and his soon-to-be wife. I mean, maybe we're just giving them a hard time. We don't really know her that well, do we?
Yeah, but that's no fault of our own. We barely knew he was dating someone, and now he's engaged?
I would think that it's because of the family money, but I doubt she understands just how well off we are. I mean, maybe she does. I don't know what our son could have possibly told her to make her agree to marry him.
I don't know. I think they both got each other for stupidity. And that's being nice. She didn't even realize I was his father at the party. And then when she did find out, she asked me what I did for work. She hasn't so much as Googled our family, apparently.
Yeah, she was saying how she didn't understand why we couldn't have a tiger at the engagement party. Not only is it really gimmicky and cliche, but it's super dangerous. Not only for us, but for the animal. Don't even get me started when I explained to her how investing works. I was trying to tell her that the inheritance money should be put into an account right away, but I don't even think she heard any of that. She asked me what inheritance means.
My God, maybe they are perfect for each other. I don't want to call our son an idiot, but he's definitely not the brightest crayon in the box.
That doesn't mean that we should let her marry him.
I mean, I don't need to bring out this card, but he is a fully grown man. He can make his own decisions, no matter how terrible they are. We should just try and be supportive.
He'll waste away his inheritance with her at his side.
He'll probably waste away his inheritance either way, whether or not she was there with them. It'll be alright, honey. We should just try to be supportive any way that we can.
I know, you're right. I just can't help but think that this is all some big mistake. She's clearly just marrying him for his money.
Well, technically, she's marrying him because he told her that he runs some big multi-million-dollar company.
Excuse me? Where the hell did he get that from? What company is he running?
I think that he means our company, even though it's still decades away until we actually hand over the keys to the empire or whatever.
Exactly. And that's to say if he's even qualified enough to take over. I can't believe that he would say such a thing.
Yeah, well, this is Mark that we're talking about. The party boy who toured Europe, but never saw any of the sights. I think the only reason why he wasn't kicked out of the EU as a whole was because he's our son, and we have some pretty strong connections on that side of the world.
I can't believe it. This is terrible.
Again, we have to try to be supportive, no matter how big of a mistake we think he's making.
Okay, fine. But if any more lying happens, I'm not going along with it. You shouldn't either. And if Marina says anything untoward, that's it. I can handle if she's not the brightest crayon in the box, but I can't handle if she's actually mean or stuck up. I will not have a daughter-in-law like that.
I know, neither do I, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Besides, it's still a while away until they get married. Who knows, maybe this will actually turn out to be good for them. They'll have to grow up a little bit.
I highly doubt that. They are starting this entire marriage as a sham. She believes he runs our company, and well, I don't know. He probably only likes her because she's pretty. but she probably is in it for the money as well. God, this is such a big mess.
As long as it's not directly affecting us.
I mean, what about his inheritance? We always agreed that we'd give them the inheritance once he got married.
Who knows? It was only once I started making a lot of money that I became more responsible. Maybe he just needs a little push.
I love how much you believe in our son. I really do. But I really do think you give them more credit than he is due.
Maybe, but I never got the support of my parents, and it wrecked me as a kid.
Well, Mark is our kid, and we have supported him as much as we needed to. In fact, I'm pretty sure we spoiled him, and that's why he is the way that he is. Not a hard-working bone in his body.
That's hardly our fault.
I know. I'm just a tad upset by this whole thing. But again, as you said, I will try to be supportive of both Mark and Marina.
You should talk to her. Maybe ask if she needs any help with planning or anything. You should also make sure that they don't try and spend too much money. It's not like Mark actually has a job.
Yeah, I should definitely do that. Hi, Marina. This is Mark's mother. Just wanted to check in and see how your wedding planning was going.
Everything is going so well. We're hiring the best of the best. You should see some of the companies we hired to cater and decorate for our wedding.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, you know that Mark doesn't have to worry about money, so he said that I could spend it on whatever I'd like.
Oh, Mark said that. I'm sure that he doesn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I was thinking that maybe we can go get some Botox before the wedding. Maybe get you a lip filler or something.
What?
I don't mean anything bad by it, of course. It's just that, you know, you're the mother of the groom, and you're going to be in a lot of photos. And I need these photos to look stellar. You never know if our wedding will make magazines, you know?
Why would your wedding be in a magazine?
It's like I said, we're getting the best of the best. It's going to be a really bougie event, and we're having a guest list of like 300 people. Most of them are just famous contacts that Mark has in the company, but some really important people are going to be there. I don't know. It was kind of hard to understand everything that the planner was saying I needed, so I just trust her to do it. I mean, she did royal weddings, so of course she knows what she's talking about.
You got a royal wedding planner?
Well, duh. People with as much money as Mark are the new royalty, as they say.
So you do know about our family?
Well, obviously. I mean, I'm marrying Mark. I know that you're his mom, and that old guy was his dad.
Okay, never mind. Are you sure that you need to be so extravagant with the wedding? That sounds like it's going to be quite a lot of money.
Mark is only the best for me. That's why I fell in love with him in the first place. He wants to make sure that I have the best of everything. I mean, what kind of idiot would turn down an opportunity like that?
Yeah.
Why? Do you have a problem with that or something?
What?
I don't know if you know this, but I am kind of an empath, and I can tell that your energy is like way off.
Excuse me?
Like, I can tell by the tone in your text messages that you are not happy about something, which doesn't make sense, considering that this is my wedding, my special day. I know that some women, as they grow older, don't like to give up on things, but I hate to tell you this, you're gonna have to give up on being the only woman in Mark's world.
Look, I don't get what you're talking about, or what you think I have to give up, but let me just tell you this. You are not in charge here. I am. And Mark is not nearly in charge as he lets you believe.
Okay, clearly this is going to be one of those situations where the washed-out mother tries to take the reins. I won't let that happen. Not for my wedding. It happened with my friend Stacy, and she totally had to uninvite her. And if it comes to that, I have no qualms about uninviting you.
Excuse me?
It's not like we need you anyways. Mark runs a company on his own. He brings in the big bucks. I mean, that's why he was in Europe when we met. He was blowing off steam after meeting with a bunch of heads of companies or whatever. Again, I don't really understand it.
Okay, listen here. Mark is not in charge of the company. We're his parents.
Yeah, but he's his own man. At least that's what he told me. And this is my wedding. So I suggest that if you want to be a part of it, then you'll back off. We're still good to go get some Botox and lip filler for you, right?
You've got to be joking.
I'm just looking out for you. I mean, I know I can be a little bit harsh, but I'm truthful, and I want my photos to turn out the best they can. I've put all of my bridesmaids on a diet and have hired a personal trainer for the entire wedding party. You're not the only one who has to go through a big makeover, so don't take it offensively.
I don't understand how I'm not supposed to be offended by all of this. Isn't this all a bit much? I mean, how much is this wedding going to cost?
It's nothing you need to worry about.
It is if you want money.
Don't be so foolish. You wouldn't dare not pay for anything. It's the parents' job to pay for things. Not that Mark really needs it, but he said that you'd be A-okay with paying for everything. I mean, if we need to, we will just pay for everything ourselves, with Mark's company's money.
I really don't think you understand how business works. You can't just use company profits to pay for a wedding. Besides that, the way you're speaking to me is very rude. I don't know if I am okay with Mark marrying a girl like you.
Excuse you? How dare you? I am a bright shining star. I am the light of his life. Anyone would be lucky to have me, and you should feel lucky that I chose your son to marry. I am a great addition to any family.
Yeah, I'm sure that you think you are.
Whatever. I am so done with you.
Son, we need to have a conversation about this Marina girl you're trying to marry.
Don't think that you could belittle my soon-to-be wife and just get away with it. I know that sometimes mother-in-laws get really crazy or whatever, but I never thought that you would. I can't believe you said those things to my fiancée. You called her such awful names. And now what? You want to come talk to me and convince me that you're not the bad guy? Well, I don't buy it.
What?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay, that is not what happened. I don't know what lies Marina has told you, but they're gross lies. Although I must admit that it's nice seeing you have some passion for something other than yourself.
No, I don't. I'm my own man. I have control over my life. You don't get to tell me what to do.
Okay, look, you can't marry Marina. I refuse to have that girl be a part of our family. I don't even really know her, but from what I've seen through text, it's enough to make me want to never be around her. So I'm doing this as politely as I can. You need to break up with her.
I can marry whoever I'd like. I'm just sad that my own mother doesn't approve. I thought you would have been supportive of me and the happiness that I found with Marina. But clearly you're only looking out for yourself.
Clearly, you and Marina have been talking too much. She's making you even more confused than you were before. You have to trust me on this, son. You do not want to marry someone like Marina.
You mean my empire?
That's not true. I'm looking out for our entire family, can't you see? She's going to destroy our family. Not only that, but I'm pretty sure she can destroy our empire.
But I will someday. That's what you and Dad said, at least. That I was training for taking over the company after you and Dad get old. That time's coming very quickly.
What? You do know that you don't actually run the company, right?
Come on, Mom. I don't mean to beat around the bush, but you and Dad are getting old. The company will be mine someday, and so it doesn't matter if technically I run the company now or not. I will someday.
According to who?
What does that mean exactly?
You have to earn the company, son. You really think your dad and I were just going to hand you the keys to something that we've been working on our entire lives? No, not to someone like you.
Just because Marina told you some truths that you're not ready to hear doesn't make her a bad person. It makes her honest. And if you can't handle that honesty, then it's not my fault.
It means that you need to step up a little bit. Listen to our advice, especially when we tell you that marrying this woman is a bad idea.
No, I can't. Just stop getting in the way of my life. You won't have control over much anyways. Not when I take over the company, and not when I marry Marina.
I am doing this for our family. Can't you understand that? Look, I know that we have been a bit harsh on you these past couple of years, but that's only because we care about you, and we want you to grow up to be a good, hardworking man. We care about you. We're your parents. So please believe us when we say that Marina is not the type of person you want to be marrying or bringing into our family. She'll ruin everything.
Okay, that is enough. I'm done.
But son...
No! I've let you and Dad run my life for way too long. It's time for me to break free. Do my own thing. Maybe old age is really getting to the two of you. Marina's right. I should just cut you both out altogether. Since the company's already mine, I'll just take it from here.
Excuse me?
I'm done having this conversation with you. Not if you're just going to rag on Marina.
Fine. Honey, I don't know what to do.
What? What's going on?
Well, a lot has happened since you suggested that I talk to Marina.
What? How?
Let's just say that Marina is definitely a lot bigger of a problem than we assumed. She's going to destroy our family and our company.
What happened?
Well, I went to talk to her. Ask her about wedding plans. Maybe meet her where she's at or whatever. But let me tell you, she is planning the most extravagant wedding, one that will probably put a dent into our finances. And that's saying something. She even has a royal wedding planner, for crying out loud. Not only that, but she insisted that I get Botox and a lip filler so I look better for her pictures. She's literally a monster. I don't know how else to describe it. And the final cherry on top? She's got our son wrapped around her finger. She's telling him that he should just cut us out of his life. And he's listening to her.
What? Does she really have that much of a sway on him?
Yes, she's going to ruin us. She's going to ruin the family. Our son agreed to cut us out of his life and to give her this big fancy wedding, and most of all, he insists that the company is already his.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's clear that we can't give him his inheritance. And it's always been clear that he isn't fit to run our company anyways.
I knew that Marina girl was a piece of work, but I had no idea it was that bad. I'm terrified for our future.
I'm saying that I think it's time we made the cut.
What are you saying?
Has he felt much like a son? Or more of a nuisance? No matter what we do or say, he's never going to listen to us. He's going to let this woman into his life, into our family, and the consequences will ruin us. I don't want that.
You're talking about cutting off our son?
Then it's settled, I guess.
Neither do I.
Of course, dear.
Let me be the one to break it to Marina, though.
I've booked you in for Botox and lip fillers. I also went ahead and booked you for a facial and maybe a tummy tuck as well.
You're really that concerned about my appearance?
Yes, obviously. I already made it clear. I need my photos to look perfect. And you look not perfect. You're going to mess everything up.
I'm not going.
What?
I'm not letting you bully me into getting all of these procedures done just so I look better in your photos. That's messed up. I'm not going to any of those appointments.
Well then, I guess you're just not going to the wedding.
You're serious? You wouldn't let me go to the wedding if I didn't get all of these things done?
How many times do I have to tell you this? My wedding needs to be perfect. I know that I will already look perfect. I just need to make sure that people around me don't pull down the value of my photos. I want to look back at them and remember just how beautiful I am. I can't do that if I'm focused on how horrendous everyone else looks.
My God, I don't think I've ever met anyone as conceited as you are.
Excuse me?
You heard me. You're conceited. You're mean. You're controlling. And you are the exact opposite of everything I would want in a daughter-in-law.
How dare you? Well then, you're uninvited to the wedding.
You're uninviting me to my own son's wedding.
When I talk to him, he won't want you there either.
You're unbelievable.
We don't want you at the wedding. You're ugly and old and will ruin the photos.
Fine. At least that saves me $500,000. Good luck being married to my hapless son.
What? Who the hell are you calling hapless? He owns and runs your company. He had to take it over because you and that old man were getting too old and senile to run it properly. Wait, what do you mean $500,000?
Yeah, actually, our son has no part in the company. I don't think he even knows where the base of operations is. I don't think he even knows the legal name of our company. He hasn't worked a day, let alone a minute for our company. So, yeah, the only one paying for anything was us, and we were the ones supporting him. So without us, he's dead broke and doesn't have any qualifications for a job. But since you're so in love with him, go ahead and marry him. My husband and I are done supporting a slob like him, and we are certainly not giving him his inheritance of $500,000, not with you around.
How dare you? You can't do this. We'll sue you.
With what money for lawyers?
How dare you? You conniving old ugly cow!
Yeah, throw a tantrum. I don't care. Have a wonderful marriage, and good luck paying for your wedding. To both my husband and I's surprise, Marina and Mark did go ahead with the wedding. Whether Mark had savings of his own or whether he just used our name, they managed to have a fancy wedding. However, less than a month later, the tabloids started blowing up with headlines that Mark was bankrupt, despite being the son of 2 millionaires. We had to put out an official statement saying that Mark was no longer considered a part of the family in order to save our own image. Marina left Mark less than a week later. We don't know whether or not we'd allow Mark back into our lives. Maybe in a decade or so, and only if he's proven to us that he's grown up and made himself into a better man. But we're not holding our breath. We can give the company to one of our employees, one of which we considered more of a son than Mark ever was. He's sure to take care of us later in our life.